Hello, class. I wanted to take a moment to point out a few of the differences between the outline that you may wish to create and the outline that is required in the rubric. So this example is in our module reading. It's actually on page 19 if you had downloaded your e-text as a PDF. And it shows at the beginning the thesis statement. So you'll notice in the rubric, it only requires for your introduction to include the thesis statement, but this one here also includes it tells you that you should have a hook to grab the reader's attention, some background information, as well as your thesis statement. So you may want to include all of those elements in your introduction. Again, there's a difference between what is required for grading and what you may want to create in order to help you with your writing and drafting. Okay, but more importantly, this is really what I wanted to show you. Okay, so in the rubric for the outline, as well as some of the reading for outlining, it talks about breaking down your ideas into main points. So now that you've collected your information, what you're going to want to do is start to organize that into main points or chunks. One way to do that is if you hadn't already done that in your thesis, sometimes you list your three main points in your thesis. So for example, in this particular essay, the main points are affordability, environmentally friendly, and then simplification. So those are the main points that this particular essay has, and they may be listed in they are listed here in the thesis statement. Yours may or may not be, and that's okay. But if they are not listed, what you're going to want to do is start to break those down into those chunks. Sometimes you can do that because you're going to start detecting themes as you're doing your research. And when you think of a theme, you think of the overall main idea. So when you find those main points, think of those as your those chunks and how you will organize your essay. So now in the rubric for the outline, it only requires you to have three main points with a topic sentence, a supporting point, and then a summary sentence or a transition statement. So that's fine, except that when you're thinking about the length of a 6 to 8 page essay, if you do that and only have one paragraph for each main point, you will not have enough information for a 6 to 8 page essay, because basically what you are outlining is only a 5-paragraph essay, which is usually maybe around 3 pages. So what you want to do is you want to take those main points and you want to break them down into even smaller subpoints. So here's what I mean by that. So for example, this particular paragraph, the main point is affordability. Okay, that's the main point. But if you were to break this down into subpoints and think of each subpoint as its own paragraph, you could do it like this. So subpoint A, tiny homes cost less than larger traditional homes. So your subpoint really is that there are some general numbers and overall cost. So you would give a specific example from your research that would support that. Then you would have that in one paragraph. Now in the next paragraph after that, you are going to talk about mortgage costs in particular. So you would talk about the mortgage costs of a traditional home versus a tiny home. And you would give specific examples. Again, there's a citation here that would show the reader exactly what those different costs are between that. And now your next subpoint or another paragraph would be the savings on, say, smaller parts of the monetary equation. So you would give examples of savings on the utility bills and repairs and all those sorts of things from tiny homes versus traditional homes. And this is another paragraph in and of itself. So really the main point of affordability has 1, 2, 3 topics underneath that, which are 1, 2, 3 paragraphs. So in addition to the introduction that's already been created, we now have introduction paragraph 1, overall cost paragraph 2, mortgage cost paragraph 3, smaller bills paragraph 4. So we already have 4 paragraphs right here. Okay, and the reason, for those of you who are maybe a little bit more mathematically minded, this is how I like to try to explain it. Generally, a well-developed paragraph is a minimum, I say, of 5 sentences, because you need a topic sentence, you should have at least 3 supporting ideas, and a transition statement. So you're going to want a minimum of 5. I say minimum. preferably more, but 5 can often be considered acceptable. Those well-developed paragraphs with the minimum of 5 sentences generally take up about a half of a page, type double space following APA or MLA rules for Times New Roman and size 12 font. So half a page. So each page has about 2 paragraphs on it. So if you are talking a 6 to 8 page essay, you are going to roughly need to have about 12 paragraphs. So you have 12, 13, 14 paragraphs. So you have your introduction and your conclusion, of course, but then you need to have those sub paragraphs as well. So if you have for your main points 3 paragraphs about each main point, right there you have your 3 main points, 3 sub points, which are each 1 paragraph. So that is 9 body paragraphs plus your introduction and your conclusion. That is 11 paragraphs right there. So you are well on your way to creating that paper that you need to. Okay, so just a few thoughts about that. Again, it's not exactly a rule, and like I said, there's a difference between what I'm looking for on the rubric for this week and what may help you down the line. You may create the shorter version for our discussion board and for the milestone, and that's perfectly acceptable, but you may want to create a more detailed version for yourself to lay out your essay overall before we start drafting next week, because it really will be next week. Okay, so that's about it for now, and I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions at all, please post them in the general discussions forum or email me. I'm happy to answer those and to assist you in any way possible. Okay, have a great day. Bye.